Hey folks, how's it going? Today we're going to do a quick overview of Fury Warrior PvE. Let's start it off with the fun stuff right away. Let's go with the talents. So, Tier 1, almost all the time you're going to go with Sudden Death. Especially if you're going with a Venthyr build like my warrior is right here. Anytime you can get an additional Execute or Condemn, that's going to be a ton of help. So absolutely keep that in mind. Additionally, it's arguable that you could use fresh meat. That seems to be a popular build for like kind of open world or dungeon play. But if you're going into any kind of like single target or raiding, you want to go with sudden death. Tier 2, it really just kind of comes down to what your objectives are. I personally love having a stun, and that's why I keep Stormbolt the majority of the time. However, if you're raiding or if you're in certain Mythic Plus dungeons, double time is the preferred build there. So it really kind of just comes down to what your preference or priority is. For Tier 3, Massacre really just helps double up on those condemn shots. If you like to use Exploiter, works fantastically. I know for Fury, the go-to legendary is Signet of Forgotten Kings, but either way, having Execute usable on targets at 35% health is a ton of fun. And if you're going with a Condemn build, then you can spam this all day. You're using it for over half of the fight if you're going with Condemn. So definitely recommend playing with that. It's a ton of fun. If you find there's a need there from a mobility side, you can use Bounding Strike in Tier 4. However, I always kind of recommend going with Warpaint. It's reducing the damage you take while Enrage is active. Makes a ton of sense. Tier 5, my recommendation is go with Cruelty. Really, it's the buff to Raging Blow, getting 20% more damage. Makes a ton of fun. Just makes it really, really very smooth, easy gameplay. Frothing Berserker gives you that refund on rage of 20 rage, which it's okay depending on what your build is calling for. Seethe, however, just has no competitive stance here. Tier 6, Dragon Roar. It's probably the best from a single target perspective. However, Blade Storm takes over in Mythic Plus, or if you're going with more than effectively 3 enemies in the area. It Blade Storm does become the single target preference though if you're going with Signet of Forgotten Kings. So keep that in mind. Depending on what your legendary is, Blade Storm is probably the one to go with. Tier 7, it's a little bit of a split between Anger Management. Ton of fun actually being able to knock down your cooldown of your Recklessness by 1 second. You can cleave your Recklessness cooldown really quick that way. Or alternatively, Siegebreaker. Really fun to have a quick single target burst on a 30-second cooldown. So ton of fun to be had on either side there. As far as covenants go, you want to go with Venthyr if you're going with any kind of rating. Fury's actually been doing really solid from a single target damage perspective. In Mythic Plus, Kyrian seems to be kind of separating themselves a little bit here. Seen some really competitive gameplay, although I've seen some Night Fae used as well. They've kind of risen dramatically with some of their late progression soulbinds creeping up. So Kyrian and Night Fae for Mythic Plus. For any kind of raiding though, you want to stick with Venthyr. And for me, who kind of swaps between Fury and Arms and PvP and PvE with my warrior, Venthyr is definitely my recommended path forward. It's a ton of fun. Finally, as far as like stat priority goes, like you want to always prioritize strength. So basically, any item level upgrades are going to be the way to go. After that, you've got haste is far and away the priority you want to go with. Then mastery, critical strike, and finally verse. And obviously that competes if you're looking with more of a PvP build. You definitely want to be prioritizing verse, but overall, ton of priority gained here if you can stack haste in a PvE world. It just really compresses the rotation, reduces your global cooldowns, and really it just helps reduce the cooldowns for abilities like Bloodthirst, Raging Blow, and Execute. So definitely load up on that if you've got it. Overall, I feel like Fury is in a great spot right now. It's not the best single target, but It's really fast. The gameplay's really engaging. You're never waiting to press a button. Deals some fantastic multi-target damage. I think it does a great job there. It's got really great mobility between the charge, intervene, heroic leap, and then the ability to stack those up or reduce their cooldowns. With the addition of Ignore Pain, Enrage Regeneration, Spell Reflection, Rallying Cry, you've got a ton of utility that's there. And then you bring the power buff Battle Shout. So a lot of fun to be had playing Fury right now. I recommend it to everybody. I am like incredibly surprised at how much fun it is. Really just a ton of fun to be had. So check it out. Add it to your arsenal if you haven't yet. And let me know in the comments anything else that you have questions about or things you want to learn more. Drop it in the comments. Give me the dirt. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what I missed or got wrong, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll talk to you later. Bye.